to the deck that I'm going with, and this is one reason why I'm most excited for the JJK set. Not just to play with Sukuna's fingers, but the fact that we're not on the same deck.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I can also build a pretty good looking purple deck. I just don't think the purple deck's got enough to, like Hunter x Hunter. I don't know if we don't know early on if the purple deck's got enough pieces to make a full coherent deck, and it's even worse in JJK's first Japanese set because the curses and the Kyoto school are kind of at odds. But we'll see what happens.
I still like the Toto stuff and all that from the purple set, but this is the deck that I'm going to focus on starting out because I like what Sukuna's doing. Like, I feel it's super powerful. So we'll start at the bottom and go up. Malevolent Shrine is just absolutely sick. Play this field as active. Main rest, choose one Sukuna on your area. It gains all the following effects during the turn, depending on the number of Sukuna's fingers on your outside area. +2, damage 2, +3, snipe, +4, impact. Like, any one of those being added is just ridiculous.
I think he's already got several abilities, so that's just adding on to what he's already got.
I feel you're pretty set once you get to 3 fingers out, because once you can just force a attack, or force a block, you're just like targeting the things that make it worse for you. And you should be able to double up. Like, if you've got 2 shrines out, you should be able to double up on this stuff. Not that any of it matters, because you don't get damage 4, you don't get snipe 2, you don't get, well, actually you might get impact 2 because this is +1.
Yeah, you do.
So this would be the only one that would matter.
We might have to look into what 2 instances of snipe do, because it looks, if I remember the way the wording looks, it would be 2 individual snipe triggers. So you might pick 2 different guys.
But you only get 1 attack.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's not like,
unless you have a Sukuna with double attack, a double attack. But I know you
untap your Sukuna.
Yeah, but you definitely can't double up on the damage 2. You could double up on snipe, but again, you only have the 1 attack. The impact is the only one that I think would matter if you had 2 shrines out.
Yeah,
because of that +1. So it would almost be more effective to have 2 out, have snipe, which you're going to win because it's Sukuna, and just do 2 damage and kill something that's doing so much.
But to get to these abilities, you need to use fingers. What's the fingers do?
Which one was this? Get to the fingers in a minute. The Divergent Fist is just it's your typical special. Choose one of your opponent's frontline characters with a BP of 5,000 or less and return it to its owner's hand. If there is an Itadori Yuji in your area, retire it instead. Now, bounce traditionally bad in card games because it's like, well, they can just replay it and you're the one out a card, right? I feel bounce is a little more effective in this game, just because the way raid works. When you raid something on top of it, you bounce the top rated card. The card under the rated card gets sent to the sideline.
Yeah.
So bouncing,
lose a raid target.
Yeah, bouncing not bad, but also only having those 3 actions, it messes with their tempo. So you're bouncing a card, they're having to replay it, it's coming in rested. They're pretty much taking that turn off when you're still able to attack. So bouncing, I think, like I said, I think is a lot more effective. But Yuji being on the field and just being able to kill it straight up and being able to do anything 5,000 or less, which is going to definitely be probably the standard of cards moving forward, like 5,000, 4,000, you know, right around that area. It's just going to be good.
Yeah, there are some outliers in other future sets, but there's not a lot of them.
Yeah. And then you got the typical domain expansion, AP standards, which I guess we can kind of get into that. I do feel this is, it's like a 50-50. Like, you really need to look at your deck to see if you need this type of card. Otherwise, like, if you're looking to play a lot of stuff, or if your deck has a lot of 2 action costing cards, yes, I think you add this. So
or AP usage cards, like on field AP usage stuff.
Yeah, that's a one I gotta add to my repertoire for what you're looking to do with this. Otherwise, like, if it really doesn't have that, I feel it has been a dead draw a lot of times. Like, I get it, and I'm stuck with like, I'll play the 2 cards that I normally need to play, and then I'm done. And then I have 1 AP that I don't play. I have this in my hand. It's doing nothing for me. I would just much rather see more effective cards in a deck. And I mean, the final trigger, to me, the final trigger doesn't matter. It's a 1 of 50 cards to see, and it has to be in your life total to begin with. And I just don't think that's effective enough, because if you're down to your final life, more than likely you're cornered and you're going to lose, and 1 extra turn isn't going to effectively do anything for you.
I can see that. And another thing that I've noticed is, a lot of the times there's games that we're playing against people, and they're trying to account for you possibly having a final on that last card, and they're setting up their attacks to be able to get 2 attacks in if they need it. And I mean, that's fine and good. That also sometimes has let me kind of build up and come back a game or 2, because they were worried about hitting the final and not being able to finish me off if they've expended all their resources in that turn.
Back, I mean, I don't get what people like. I don't get why final scares people so much. I guess you know, it's okay. So they get 1 more life. What is did you like? I think you should be more looking at, is my board state set up good enough that even if they have that final, I can still take them out next turn. You know, yeah. And if you're so far ahead, like, you gotta attack to win in this game. You can't just wait for them to draw out. So,
and well, that's something that I want to do. Like, we've talked about doing a sport, like, well, not really maybe a spoiler. Whenever the full set comes out of each set, we'll go over stuff. And there's a card game theory that's called the quadrant theory, where you look at a card and fit several different lights, at least 4. But the most important ones are: is this card good when you're ahead? If so, okay, it fills a quadrant. Is this card good when you're at parity? If so, okay, that's an even better card than if you're ahead. Is this card good when you're behind? If it's good when you're behind, that's another tick. Yeah, that's another tick for it. Well, the thing is, there are cards that are good when you're behind, but are just dreadful if you're at parity or ahead, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, they're not. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But I do remember reading a few that felt that way. And what you're looking for is, you're looking to fill up as many of those quadrants as possible with a card, and decide whether it's a good card or not. The stuff for the final is, it's good if you're behind, definitely, because if you're hitting it on your last life point left, it can save you and give you that one last turn you needed. But the question that you're asking yourself, it seems, is does this card help me when I'm ahead? Does this card help me when I'm at parity?
Yeah.
Playing this card out of hand, does it help me when I'm behind?
Yeah, I think the effect on it is much stronger to play it than it being in your life, because if it's in your life anywhere other than being the last card that they hit, it is just basically a blank piece of cardboard that goes to your grave, and it did nothing for you. You might as well have been playing a card down in your deck, and God forbid you've got 2 of them in the middle of your life. You basically just started the game with 48 cards. And I know to some people that would be like, well, it wasn't any of my good stuff. There are trigger abilities. So even though I also don't look for every trigger ability, because you can't play a card, you can't play every card in your deck with a trigger ability, because you have to have those vanilla 0 drops that a lot of the times have nothing on them.
I think the deck that I submitted, all the 0 drops had something on them. I don't know if there was a card in the.
I
think the field card didn't have a trigger, but I think I packed triggers into that deck. But yeah, you don't always get effective triggers.
But I mean,
I would try for them.
Yeah, it's just like, to me, it feels bad when it's in my life, and it feels bad when I can play it. So, and I know that sounds like, well, why is it in here? I'll tell you why it's in here. It's because of Action 2 characters, like the Sukuna.
You've got a lot of them.
Yeah.
You're having some rough turns sometimes.
So I'm not exactly willing to take a turn off to play a single character, because I would rather be playing more. Now, I put them in there because that's a kind of standard I've set for a deck, that if there's enough Action 2 characters in a deck, I'll put them in there and I'll try them out. But a lot of the times for me right now in my head, these are going to be the first cuts if I feel the deck's not running the way that I want it to go. Because if these guys are just doing enough without having to play anything else, then yeah, I can go down and play better stuff. I can shore up my bottom end, or I can put something in the middle. So, yeah, but yeah, that's where I'm at with AP standing as a card. And I know it's kind of a weird thing, because that seems to be like, well, you're taking one of the 4 triggers that you're restricted to out, and you're taking a standard card that everyone puts in a deck out. I get it, but that just because it's a standard doesn't mean that it's the right standard. But and even some people that I've been talking to in Discord, like it doesn't seem like I'm like bringing them around to my train of thought, but it's like they are definitely seeing a value in not having them. But then pretty much the premiere of why I want to play Sukuna's Fingers is Sukuna's Fingers.
We'll see him thing.
Yeah. 1 in 1 action. Super low. Can't be good, right?
It comes at a cost too.
Yeah. Yeah. This card cannot be used unless you place 1 card from your life to the outside area or rest one of your active Itadori Yujis on your area. Draw 1 card.
That's kind of rough.
Choose up to 1 of your AP cards and set it to active.
I will say this is my concern about the deck. I find cantrips like this interesting.
Yep.
I'm worried about it being fiddly widdly. It makes up for that by standing an action point, but still, you're churning through for initially not a lot of game. I mean, yeah, that shrine's good, but that shrine's only good if you got Sukuna. And how many UGs are you playing to be able to tap down? But at the same time, you are drawing a card. You're shrinking the size of your deck by 4 if you get all of these.
Yep.
There's merit there. It
is more or less just a free play.
Yeah.
And I know you can't, like, You can go into
Do you
your
feel
life with
comfortable
this.
losing life? Do you feel comfortable losing life to turn this?
If it gets me to the point to where the board state is more in my favor than less, then yes.
I think you spend a life to dig yourself out of a bad starting hand. I think you spend a life to set up a Sukuna that's going to wreck face.
Yeah.
I think you try to avoid spending life in all of those situations.
This is what you're doing too, is you're churning through your life as well, because there might be a Sukuna's finger in your life.
Well, that's the thing. It says outside area. Is that not removal zone? I'm pretty sure that's exile.
No. So this is using a direct Japanese translation, and this is where some people like that. This is one of the things that I was kind of, worried about, because outside area makes you think that, oh, this is the removal area. No, this is actually just your trash pile, your graveyard. I forget. I think there might actually be a card in here that actually says your removal area. But yes, outside area is just your graveyard. Because I think, does Nanami say it? Yeah. Okay, so Nanami says it as well. He says outside area. If you have 15 or less cards in your deck, this character gains impact 1 on play. You may place 7 cards from your outside area to the removal area, to the remove area. If you did, draw 3 cards.
Okay.
So outside is your trash, and they have the way they specified in Japan is remove area.
Okay.
So yeah, you're just trashing it to the trash.
Exiling it. I was concerned that you were exiling your life points and not getting any kind of a trigger off of them if they had a trigger.
No.
I think,
actually, yeah, you might.
Fingers?
So what?
Haven't we received the Sukuna fingers in English? Hang on, I'm having issues with my mouse at the moment, or else I would pull up the.
May have. I'm not 100%. But
no, I didn't know what we have. Okay, no.
But this is the big Sukuna. This is the one that I want to play. This is the one that I want to see. Most of the time. Just like Gojo. 6 calls, 2 action, no raid.
He's no raid, yeah.
Impact 1. On play, when in front line, your opponent returns one of their frontline characters to its owner's hand. If you have 2 to 3 Sukuna's fingers in your outside area, return 2 instead. If you have 4 fingers in your outside area, return 3. Just say goodbye to your front line.
So Shrine, does Shrine tell your Sukuna to stand up?
Does not. And I did not mean to add an extra one. Shrine just comes in active. Choose 1 Sukuna on your area. It gains all of the following effects this turn, depending on the number of Sukuna's fingers on your... Oh, I'm a freaking idiot too. Like, you don't even have to have 2 shrines to give. If you have 4 fingers, you play that Sukuna, you're bouncing 3 characters and giving him damage 2, sniper, and impact 2.
Yeah. More shrines. More shrines make up for less fingers, which sounds weird, but I don't have enough fingers, but I got enough shrines.
So, I mean, Sukuna just freaking sick, man. Like, just sick. Like, even just having 2 fingers. No. You got to impact 1 and a bounce. Or no, okay, you ain't got to have any fingers.
No.
You got to impact 1 and a bounce. You got 2 fingers. You've got an impact 1 and a bounce 2. And 4 fingers, impact 1, bounce 3. And that's without the shrine.
There are games where you have 2 shrines on the board. You have 4 fingers in the grave. the opponent loses, even if they had like 7 lives left.
Pretty much. It's a really sick card, and honestly, if I thought he would be effective at 4, I would have him at 4, but he's not. I don't think he's one that you double up on a lot, and he's more effective with more fingers, but I don't think you want to see him as often as you want to see him, if that makes sense. Because he's a game finisher. Like,
yeah, like you want to drop him when you're trying to close the game out. And
yeah,
in that case, I mean, it wouldn't. Another Magic reference. He's like Siege Rhino. Then.
Oh yeah.
you drop one, your opponent's like, shit. Okay, I'm gonna try to recover. They recover on their turn. You comes to your turn. It's another Siege Rhino. It's another Sukuna. Bounce all 3 of your guys back up. I'm attacking with that Sukuna that's got double damage and impact twice. What's up? Oh, God, I stabilized. Okay, God, I'm almost dead. But I didn't die that turn. I killed one of those Sukunas, so you can't attack with both of them. I'm going to figure something out.
I mean,
I've got 3 Sukuna.
I mean, could you imagine late game your opponent has 4 of his characters and he's raided 3 of them, and you just bounced all 3 of his raided characters and got rid of his raid material?
Oh yeah, if I'm playing Trollo, I'm probably throwing the table at you. the second time Sukuna drops, if I I had 2 or 3 Trollo on the board.
Oh, just be happy I couldn't find room for the 5-drop Itadori that bounces 1 every time, but I just didn't feel like I felt, or no, he's a 4-drop Itadori, my bad. I felt my boy Nanami was just way more effective in this type of deck.
Yeah.
But you have the raid Sukuna. Raid on Itadori, of course. On play, choose one of your opponent's frontline characters and rest it. Next time it would set to active, it doesn't. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal 1 Sukuna's Fingers or Malevolent Shrine, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining at the bottom of your deck. Like, dude, you tell me that's not just ridiculous. Raid, ready character. Choose an opponent's frontline character, and you get to give them the Toshiro treatment. And then you're digging 5 for 2 things you want.
So you just pick one, but either way. And the only thing I don't like about this Sukuna, and it's something that I thought of when I was trying to build this deck myself, because I thought about submitting a version of this too.
Hey, wait. What do you mean you pick one? Are you talking about the fingers or the shrine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But I mean, you're still looking for 2 things that you're wanting to get.
Yeah. It's a broad stroke of looking for something, and you're looking 5 deep. That's pretty deep in your deck by whatever point you're getting to play this guy. But I wish that he had it. I like my raid characters to have either impact or damage to or snipe, some effect that lets me get them through or pressure to make somebody block every time. But he is looking for shrine. I worry though, if you don't have your fingers out,
so
shrine's not so effective.
I mean, that's the thing. You have, I would say, so 4 fingers, right?
Yeah.
4 fingers, and I'm looking for all 4 of them in a deck of 50 minus the 7 that you draw to start out with, and the 7 that end up in your life total, correct? So that's minus 14 being 36. All right. Just mythical math here. Say none of those fingers wound up either in your hand or within the life total, correct? So that means that's 4 of 36 being 32 that are not what you're looking for. And then if you add, just say 1 shrine in there, that's 31 of what you're looking for, correct?
Yeah.
So you do need an Itadori to raid, which I have 2. 8, if we're being real. on.
I think our preliminary math for raid targets is you wanted like for a 4 to 5 drop raid target or raid guy, you wanted 7 targets. So you're doing 8. You're covering your raid target minimum. So you're good on that front.
And I mean, we've not even gotten into it, and this is the only raid character in the deck. But so the likelihood of getting to a finger out of 31 cards being one of the cards that I'm looking for, right?
Oh, the thing is, you're going to need to get through 2 fingers to get an effect from Shrine, though, right?
2 fingers. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got to have 2 or more to get damage to. It's definitely strong.
Yeah,
the
like
cases
you're
where you
still
don't
looking.
get what you need, there's not going to be a lot of them. Because
right, and this
is draw.
This
right?
is just him. Like this is just him looking 5, right?
Yeah.
So this is just off of like if this was the only character. I'm getting one of 2 things that I need. If I need a finger to fuel him and I already have a shrine out, then I just find a finger and I can just instantly play it. If I'm looking for a shrine, I can get a shrine and instantly play it. So I think he's
good.
very good. But this is why I chose this Nanami over another Itadori. He's 4 and 2. If you have 15 or less cards in your deck, this card gains impact 1. So he's a 4,000 character, and he becomes effective late game with impact. So I don't have to get that, but very good. But on play, I may remove up to 7 cards in my trash, just cards that I don't need.
Don't make one of them your fingers.
Don't make one of them the fingers, no. But I get a draw 3 off of him.
No, yeah. That's something I was talking about. This deck, if you had any of the pieces of thought you did, this deck draws a lot of cards.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to have a whole lot of situations where you don't have the fingers or the shrines that you need.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a draw 1. This is a draw 1 getting me to my fingers. This is a draw 3 getting me to my fingers.
And then we have is look 5 to pick up 1, which is effectively a draw
5. Yeah.
1 and 3/4.
Yeah.
Maki.
This is a really strong Maki. The only reason I didn't put more is because she might be someone that I add more to if I feel that the AP cards are not doing enough for me in this deck, because I do like what she does. I tried to add some stuff to make her a little more powerful, but it's I'm just looking for her own play effect.
Yeah.
In
I don't
reality,
know that you want to make her 3K. 3K is not that strong.
It's not. It's not effective enough. So on play, look at 2 cards in your deck, add 1 card among them to your hand, place the rest to the outside area. So regardless of what I'm doing, if I've got a Sukuna's finger in another card, I take the other card, put Sukuna's finger in my trash.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what you did.
So yeah, if it was more than that, more than her just being a body and an energy producer and doing that, I probably would have more of her. But I don't.
Tell me what Gojo does, because there's a chance that you'd rather have her than Gojo.
Just energy producer.
Oh, so he gets big for your Sukuna and stuff.
I have to get to this Sukuna, and if you look at I was giving you shit about having Panda and just 2 kind of energies and stuff. I have worse.
Yeah, this is bad. Well, it's not bad. It's risky.
Yeah, that's why another reason why I don't have 4 of this Sukuna.
Where are the 2?
As good as it is, this is probably going to be my game finisher more than often, because this one is just going to be turned on by Shrine more than I get this one out.
Yeah.
And then we have.
I don't know that you got good double energy options as blue, though.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too.
Yeah.
So you got this Itadori as well, the 2/1 drop, which is a 3K for 2, pretty good.
No, that's He's got hands.
Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Sukuna's finger and add it to your hand. Place the remaining card at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you add a card from your hand this way, place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. Oh, I got a Sukuna's finger? Okay, trash. I don't know if that interaction works. I think you actually have to do something other than the one that you put in your hand, but...
Oh, no, it says the bottom of your deck, so you actually don't get to count that in your...
I thought it said trash. Never mind. Yeah, bottom of your... No, I'm not doing that then. But, again,
it is more... It's still good. I just hope that you have something in your hand that you want to go to the bottom of your deck.
I mean, it's another the whole idea is go through the deck, look for Sukuna's fingers.
Yeah.
And effectively, Maki does this, Itadori does this, Sukuna himself does it. He's not bad at it, but he can like the Nanami is just effectively refilling your hand to play more stuff too.
Yeah.
This is just the bounce a character. She's just there for that. Then you've got the 0 Nanami. Then you got the Nobara, the draw 1, place 1 from your hand to your outside area. So yeah.
I like the interaction of your bounce guy with your 0 filter. Yeah. That's something we do in Purple Hunter. It works pretty well.
Oh yeah, like this, like the bounce. She's bouncing herself. Yeah, that interaction is just one that I think is just a staple in this game.
If you can do it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's several colors that don't actually get access to the bounce or the filter draw 0 drop.
One thing that I really like about this deck is like it's just like 0 0 0 0 1 2 2 2 4 5 6. Like it just jumps.
Yeah.
And everything else is just relatively low. But yeah, I like
it.
I like the build of it. Again, the AP standards are the only thing that really bothered me about it. But I think finding the fingers is going to be a lot easier. Like, trust me, that is my biggest fear right now is like, oh God, I'm not going to find the fingers, or oh God, I'm going to get 4 copies of Shrine and all my fingers are going to be in my life.
Yeah.
And it's just going to scare
and
the
your opponent's looking
crap
at you
out
not
of me.
attacking, so you're like, well, I can't get these things in my graveyard either.
No. But I mean,
you're suspicious. Yeah.
But it does pretty good. Like some of the test hands that I get, you know, they don't look horrible. They get me to where I want to be. Like Itadori, Raid, Tunabarais, Gojos.
The Gojos, yeah.
Finger, Itadori, Gojo, no 0, trash hand. But yeah, I mean that might be something that I do too. Like I might just sure up my my lower end. But in any case, yeah, that's oh wow, that's all the decks.